Hello again, welcome back to my channel. Are you sick of me yet? This is gonna be part 3 of my Sephora haul, and get ready with me. So I did pick up a couple other things, just to name a few. I have the Kaja Bento Bouncy Mosaic Chrome Shimmer and Matte Trio. That's a mouthful. In the shade Forest Night. This is new. I have it right here. It's not even in the box. And I'm wearing that today. And I also have the new Armani blush in the shade Intimate. I'm trying out the new talc free bronzer by Nars, and this is in the shade Laguna 02. I picked up a bronzer from Sephora, just the bronzed bronzer, the Valentino concealer, which I am wearing right now. So yeah, I'll let you know how I feel about all of these things, and if you want to see how I got this look and my thoughts on these things, then just keep watching. Hello, it's me again. Okay, so I think we're gonna start with, I've prepped my face. Like, I did the Merit Instant, or sorry, the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I did this. My Clinique moisturizer. I did my under eyes with the number 7 eye cream. I think I'm gonna go into the Nars concealer. This is Light 2 Vanilla. I have a mini base brush. This is the Sonia G brush. And I have a couple little areas on my forehead that I want to cover because I can't stop picking my face. The problem is I get these little milias always in the same spot on my forehead. And then I start picking. And yeah, so there we go. Just covered those up quick. So I have a couple things that I picked up to complete the Sephora sale. I guess this will be part 3, but I'm done now. No more money to shop. So glow screen in the SPF 40. I think in the US they have different shades. This one is a slightly bit tinted. I don't know that it really has a tint once it goes on the face, but I think they have different like actual tints. But this one is just the original. So this is what it looks like. I did try this yesterday and I liked it. It didn't seem to make my face like oily or anything. I am gonna avoid my nose. I'll just put regular sunscreen on my nose, but definitely has a glow, as you can see. So I watched Lauren May, and Lauren wore the tinted one just as her foundation, and I'm like, I want to do that, but it's so glowy. I don't know how she did it. She said she's oily too, and I'm like, how the heck did you just wear this as a foundation? I might have to go back and cover those areas again. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Again, this is just the original glow screen. Gosh, it's so annoying that it takes everything so long to come to Canada, especially when it has an SPF in it. Like, we still don't have the Too Faced, that skin tint. But yeah, it takes forever to get to us. That's the glow screen. I just got a mini because I haven't used that particular one before. So I'm going to go in with sheer screen, and I'll use that on my nose. It's because it's a little more matte. Okay, I need advice. My neighbor's dog will not shut up. It's still barking. It literally barks for like hours after she leaves. I've left a note. I did make a complaint, but the problem is I don't want anything to happen to the dog. I've met the dog before and it's really cute, and she knows. Like, we've had other neighbors knock on her door, be like, enough. So she knows, like, she's disturbing the people. Like, she knows a lot of people in this building are annoyed with it. It literally never stops. What do we do? I don't want her to have to get rid of it, obviously, because I don't want her to have to go back to a shelter or something, because now it has a home. But like, what do we do about this? Help. Somebody please help. Okay. I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. So this is going to kind of get rid of the glow that I just put on, but I just need my pore area under control here. So basically right on my cheeks here. Let me just move my mirror. Yeah, so basically right in the T-zone, and then just on the front part of my cheeks is where I get the most. I just keep wiping away that concealer that I put on. Really should have waited till I was done. My priming and my sunscreen. Generally, I would wait, let my sunscreen kind of sit for a bit before I go in with my primer, but I just kind of feel like I don't have time today. You know when you're just like, I don't have time to mess around? I'm sure you guys are probably sick of seeing these videos, but I don't know. I kind of think it's more fun watching people try on, watching people try on the actual products that they picked up rather than just being like, here's what I recommend. Like, it's kind of nice to hear what people like, but to be honest, I always just skip to the description and just check what they like. I don't know why. I just like watching people put makeup on. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm not like really a short form content person. I try to put some reels up, but it's just not really my thing. So I think I'm going to go in with the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation. I haven't used this in a while, and it is a little bit light for me, so I might have to do quite a bit of bronzing, but that's what it looks like. And I have the shade Fair 2. I think what I'm going to do is just do my face, because it's kind of boring to watch. I'm going to do my face and then come back once I have that on. All right, so foundation on. I know a lot of people didn't love this foundation, but I feel like you just need a little bit, and you really need to just kind of push it into the skin. Sometimes with creams, they kind of sit on top of the pores, but I find if you just kind of push it in with your sponge. I generally like to do this with a dry sponge. Right now it's wet, but I normally like to do it with a dry one because I find that it just, I don't know why. With a wet one, I feel like it sometimes can take the product away, but when it's dry, it just really kind of pushes it in. But that's what we're looking like. So I'm gonna go in with something new. It's the Valentino concealer. This is in the shade LIGR1. I think this is the lightest shade. I did try this the other day. I really don't hate everything, I swear. Actually, I was going to talk about the House Labs bronzer. I actually love that bronzer now. I watched my video back the other day and I was like, oh, that actually looks really good. And it is super smooth and so easy to blend, so I really like that bronzer. I did purchase a couple other bronzers, which I'll show you in a bit, but I think out of the three, that one is definitely my favorite. So this is the Valentino concealer. I'll have to include information in the description box about it. I don't know why I didn't look it up before I did this video, but yeah. I don't know if it's meant to be like super thin, but I do feel like it is a very thin formula, if you can see. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to be matte or radiant. But I don't know. I feel like the shade I got is the lightest shade, and when I first tried it on my hand, I was like, oh, that might be too dark, but now I think it might be too light. I don't know. I don't know why I keep buying concealers. when I like the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's funny actually because this has 5 stars online, and I was like, wow, it's very rare you actually see a product with 5 stars. You'll see like 4.5 or like just short of 5. I did mention in my last video I initially wanted the Givenchy concealer, but they were out and still sold out right now of most shades. And this one is actually selling out pretty quick too in the lighter shades. So this is what we're looking like. I don't know. I'm still deciding. This is the second time I've tried it, so we'll see how I feel later on, but I'm just not sure. So I'm going to go in with my Huda powder underneath the eye and all over the face. And I do like to do this right after. I don't like to let it sit long, because then you have to go in again and kind of smooth out the under eye. I can never really master this smoothing of the under eye. I always find I have a crease right there that I just can't seem to smooth. So this is what we're looking like. No concealer, dark with concealer. So I'll go in on the other side here. But yeah, like very, very light texture. And I think I've gotten used to the Charlotte Tilbury being a little bit, I don't want to say thick because it's not a super thick consistency, but it definitely is thicker. I believe this is supposed to be hydrating, but I don't know. But you can see, like, I keep adding a little bit more because I can, like, see the skin underneath. And I do have kind of, like, bluish underneath because I have a vein that goes right through here. So I kind of like to cover that up if I can. I probably would have more coverage if I let it sit longer, but again, I'm just impatient. So definitely, even though it is lighter, it definitely covered that darkness. As I poke myself in the eye. Okay, so again, I'll add my Huda powder. So are you guys getting sick of these videos yet, or? I mean, I like them. I've never really steered away from Get Ready With Me. I don't know, I just enjoy seeing what other people are into, how they put their makeup on, what they love. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. Gonna go in with the powder all over the face now. And I do find it really does have a smoothing quality to it. If I remember correctly, I think that I prefer this one to the Givenchy. But I kind of do want to try it again just to see. But I do feel like this one does smooth more than that one. So I had mentioned last weekend, or in my last video, that I did want to try, or I just picked up the Narcissist palette. No, not Narcissist, sorry, the Nars Orgasm Rising palette. And I've already returned it. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to seeing that. I do think, if I'm not mistaken, Tanya B. Wells just posted a video. I haven't watched it yet, but she did mention that palette as one of her favorites, and I think she uses it in her video. So if you wanted to see somebody use that that palette, I would check her video out. She has awesome videos. Okay, so I think we're done with the powder. Let's go in with the new bronzer that I picked up. I picked up two. Simply Blair got me again. She used this in a video, which is the bronzed, sorry, is that what it's called? Sephora bronzed matte bronzer. This is in the shade 2 Mallorca. I tried this one the other day. I don't know how I feel about the shade. I feel like it is very smooth on the skin. That shade might just not be perfect for me. And then I also picked up a mini of the Laguna 02. This is the talc-free bronzer, right? Pretty sure. And that's what it looks like. I was waiting for 00 to come in stock, but it's been out of stock for literally ever. So I just got the mini because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try the formula and see how I like it. But I feel like that shade would have worked better for me. This one, like, really isn't that dark. But I wore it yesterday and I was like, is this orange? I don't know. So, you tell me. What do you think about the color? The dog is still barking, okay? It's been like hours. Still going. What would you do about this situation? Like, I really, really don't want anybody to ever have to get rid of their dogs or rehome them, because I feel like, you know, it just started getting comfortable. I guess she's like crate training him or her. I think it's a girl. But like, don't do that in an apartment. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, oh, good for you. You're training this dog and then you leave and then everybody else has to deal with the barking and you don't care because you're not here. And listen, I have a dog. My dog does not bark, ever. The only time she'll maybe bark is when, I don't know how we got lucky with a dog that didn't bark. She pisses though, that's for sure. Okay, you see what I mean? Is this a little orange? I don't know. I just look super pale in this foundation, so I always do have to kind of like really kick it up a notch with the bronzer. I'm gonna blend it, okay? But anyways, yeah, we really got lucky with our dog that she doesn't bark. The only time she really barks is when she sees another dog. She's not very social, which I wish she was, but we've tried. Like, she did get along with my fiance's parents' dog. They didn't like love each other, but they would just ignore each other. Like, they would kind of go up to each other and then just be like, all right, we'll just leave each other alone, sort of thing. And they were fine. Sadly, their dog is no longer here. They had to put her down. But yeah, like, we tried with my aunt's dog. We brought our dog there. I think it was for Christmas one year. And their dog is just so friendly that it kept going up to our dog. And our dog was like, leave me alone. I'm gonna warn you. Like, I'll show you my teeth. And their dog is just so happy and friendly that it was like, play with me. And then our dog was finally like, beat it. And it snapped at her. Which we were like so upset about, because we're like, oh my God, we don't want her to hurt your dog. They're like, just let them get to know each other. And we're like, I don't know. She didn't get hurt or anything, luckily. Like, there was no blood or anything like that. Otherwise, that would have been terrible. But after that, we were kind of just like, okay, maybe we just need to not have her around dogs. I know that's not like the proper thing to do, but you know. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna blend this out. And what do we think of the bronzer? I don't know. They start just all looking the same after a while, but I just watched Sophia Sees Beauty's video, and this was her top rated bronzer, so I don't know. Everybody feels differently about different things. Like, honestly, usually the concealers that everybody loves, I hate. Not hate, but don't like. And all the ones that people hate, I like. So, you know, that's just me. Okay, so I'm gonna go in now with the Armani blush in the shade number 10, and this is, I believe, the shade Intimate. Yes. So there we go. I was gonna maybe use this in my last video, was it? But I used the Charlotte Tilbury instead. So I know this shade, if you're watching from the US, the shade is not available on Sephora for you, but it is available. What's going on here? Why? Is that bronzer? What did I do? Sorry. The shade is not available on Sephora US. It is, I believe, available on the Armani site though. And I think there was another shade that you guys didn't have. And we don't have... I screwed up. Last week I said, oh, the sparkly one is Ecstasy. It's not. Ecstasy is actually the brighter pink shade of the Armani blushes, and Euphoric is the one with a little bit of sparkle in it. I thought about getting that one, but it looks very similar to Nars Orgasm. I don't think I actually have Nars Orgasm, but I have, I think I have Orgasm X, maybe? I don't know. But anyways, back to the palette. It just looked okay. Like, I don't know. All the shades in there were very, like, just meh. I felt like the look that I got, I could have achieved a better look with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. So that's what we're looking like. So it's definitely like a peachy, kind of nudie rose color. With this one, this is like not a super dense brush. This is just a Wet n Wild brush. So I do kind of add more than I generally would. Like, I do kind of dip in here quite a few times. It's pretty. I do think, I don't know, I think maybe because I'm more into pinker blushes these days, I do think I like Amore a little bit better. Just a little bit. What are we gonna do for highlight? Let's go Pat McGrath Venusian Nude. This was released around Christmas, I think. This is what it looks like. I think people were very meh about this highlight, and I can see why, because it does have kind of glittery particles in it. But yeah, it's actually looking pretty glittery right now. But whatever. Let's just roll with it. Sometimes when that happens, I'll go in with something to kind of just like pat it in and kind of get rid of a little bit of that sparkliness. Or I'll go over it again with my blush and it'll just tone it down a little bit. I also bought another blush. I have a problem. I'm done now though. I'm done. This was just kind of like in my mind. Actually, I wanted the shade Hibiscus Haze, but it wasn't sold out online, but it was sold out in store. And I was like, do I really want to order online? I was getting sick of waiting for shipping and stuff. I like just going there, getting it, and having it. But this is the shade Watermelon Bliss, and it is very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Dream Pop, but I wanted basically a powder version of that, just in case I just don't want to fuss with cream or liquid. Sometimes it's just easier to have a powder, but this is very beautiful. But be very careful. You literally just boop, tap it, and that's all you need. I'll maybe add it on. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, back to the bronzer for a second. This is super tiny, but I realized it's 3.5 grams, and these blushes are only 3.6 grams. So if you're like, whoa, that is super tiny, so are these. Just a reminder, these are tiny. This, 11 grams. Okay, so this is gonna last you forever. Okay, so I did buy something new for the eyes. Okay, yes, again, the Nars Orgasm Rising palette was nice. It was pretty, but it kind of made me look sick. And I did find that it reminded me of the Pillow Talk quad, and I just prefer the Pillow Talk quad. It had more kind of shimmer and pretty sparkle to it, and this one just, I don't know, it was just missing something for me. So I got the Kaja. This is a new shade. This is Forest Night. It's number 19. Why are my teeth hurting again? I'm gonna lose my mind. So this is what it looks like. So that was the most sparkly shade. Oh. This is kind of, it looks lighter in person than it actually does. This is kind of more true to color. And then this is the third shade. This is kind of like a greeny brown. It has just a touch of sparkle to it, but that's kind of like the sparkle that just disappears once you blend it out, I think. I haven't tried it yet. So we are going to go in with that shade first. I might blend it out with a little bit of bronzer, just because that is a little bit darker than what I'd normally go on my crease. I generally like to start off with a little bit of bronzer or a bronzer type shade. But yeah, you see what I mean? Like, the sparkles just kind of blend away in these types of shades, but the other two are quite shimmery, so I think that'll be really nice. Okay, so I am going to go in with a bronzer. Maybe let's try the Sephora bronzer. Literally, doesn't that dog get tired? Like, I don't understand. It's never been this bad. Today is like an all-time high of barking. That's pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to do both of these with my finger, I think. I'm first going to go in with, do they have different shade? Yes. I'm going to go in, so that one that I just put on was called Night Haze. The mid-toned brown is Wood Breeze. So this one does have quite a bit of sparkle in it. This is what it looks like. And who did I see wearing it? Simply Blair. She was like, go get this. I never tell people to buy anything, but buy this one. And I did already look at that one online, and I was like, oh, that is pretty. So this is that kind of like goldy color, which is called Earthy Glam. I'm going to the gym today. I'll be glam for the gym. But that's very pretty. So I'll kind of go back in with that mid-tone shade and then back in with the gold. And then I think I might go back in with this darkest shade. And it is kind of like a khaki brown. There's definitely like a greenish kind of shade to it. I think I'm going to put my liner on. I'm going to figure out what I want to put in the corner of my eye. Do I want to put the gold? I don't know. What liner am I going to wear? I think I'll just use Whiskey from Urban Decay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've started my other eye. Haven't finished this one quite yet, but I'll just show you what I did. So I just went in with a little bit of Whiskey by Urban Decay. This one I've just been using forever. Like, this is such a good shade. And I went ahead and just put the sparkle in the corner too. I think it might have made my eyes look a little bit darker, but I kind of wanted to make it look like the picture on Sephora. I just thought that looked so pretty with the sparkle kind of like all over the place. Okay, so then once I did that, I went in with, oh my god, my foot is asleep. Ooh. I went in with the darkest shade, and I went in with a, where's my brush? Angle brush. And just kind of smudge that a little bit. I think it would look nice even if you didn't put any liner, but I feel naked without liner. I always do quite a thick line of liner. And then once I do that, I just go in with a little pencil brush. This is just the Makeup by Ariel and Morphe collab. This was an A7 brush. Any pencil brush will do. And I just go in with that darkest shade underneath. And it does have a little bit of that kind of like glitter in it. It's that matte one with the little shimmer. So you might have a little bit of fallout from that, but I haven't really experienced much. And then once I did that, I went in with Urban Decay Black Market liner. And just went in the waterline. Just to kind of deepen up the look a tiny bit. One of my friends cannot stand putting anything in her eye or seeing people put anything near their eye, so I'm sorry if that disgusted you. And then I just curled the lashes. So I think I'm gonna go in with my mascara, do my brows, and then I will come back to do the lips. And I have a setting spray that I wanted to use. Actually, I'm gonna use it now before I do my mascara. This is the new Milk Makeup, what is it called? Pore Eclipse Matte Setting Spray. Be careful with this sprayer, because I found when I first sprayed it, it was literally like pss, 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 and like heavy mist. Okay, that was beautiful. So if it's like that, then see, now it went in a little heavy in some areas, so I'll just make sure to kind of tap it in. I don't really notice any like white dots like the Urban Decay has, but I also didn't notice that it really mattified me that much when I wore it yesterday. I was like, why do I look glowy? Like, I don't really think it mattifies that much. There are really good reviews about this online. Maybe it's just me being picky. But yeah, the one thing I do like about it, okay, first of all, some people are complaining about the size. This is 40 mils, I think. I threw the box away. I believe this is 40 mils, and the mini Urban Decay is only 30 mil. So this is a mini. Sorry, I forgot to mention I have the mini. This is only 30 mls. And then the Charlotte Tilbury mini. Clearly I like minis. I like to just try them out first, so I don't buy the huge size. This is 34, so this is still bigger than these ones. But yeah, so far it's okay. I don't really notice that it like mattifies me a lot, but I do think I like this one the best. But with that one, you really have to shake it well because it does leave little white dots and you have to make sure to just kind of blend them out really quickly. But yeah, it's a decent setting spray. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, I'm going to use it. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, mascara on, lashes done. I mean, just mascara. But yeah, so we're gonna go in with a lip. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I do the same thing all the time. I think I am just gonna do the same thing I usually do. I'm gonna go with the Sephora collection shade in Love Love. And these are the, what are they called? Lip Storts. Sorry, a hiccup. So also, this lady across from us, she's literally the biggest Karen. And listen, I can be a Karen sometimes and I can fully admit it. Like if people are being super noisy, I'm like, can you like just respect your neighbors? And I remember this one time we went out, I think we went to the gym, and we got home. She just peeks her head out the window or out the door, and she's like, hi, your dog was crying the whole time you were gone. And we're like, we open the door, we look at the dog, she's fast asleep. We're like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, it was crying and crying. And we're like, okay, that's weird because our dog is old and she like 0 FGs with her. Like if we leave, she's not like, oh my god, come back. She's like, okay, see ya, I'm gonna go take a nap. Like she doesn't care. This is Muted Mauve by Anastasia. And so we were kind of like, okay, sorry, but like I don't think that was her. And she's like, it was. And I'm like, because she's sleeping right now. And she's like, oh, well, I also heard her on the weekend. And when she said that, we had actually stayed at my parents' place that weekend. And I was like, no. I'm like, sorry, that wasn't us because we weren't even here. I'm like, so it couldn't have been her. And then another day, she was like, we open the door and she comes out and she's like, can you just be more quiet when you're opening the door? And we're like, what the hell? Like, we don't slam the door. We're never just like super rough or anything. And we're like, okay, sure. But when we open our door, we have a little metal thing on the top and it kind of makes a noise when you open it, but that's like out of our control. But when we open and close, we're always like super light when we close it. So this lady already left a bad taste in our mouths. We're like, okay, she's annoying. And then she sees my fiance. I think he was walking the dog or something. And she's like, oh, yeah, so I figured out that it wasn't actually your dog that was crying. And we're like, no duh, we told you that. And then she's like, yeah, it was actually the people above me, so I talked to them. And we're like, okay. Then she gets this dog and it will not shut up. And we're like, are you kidding me? If that was anybody else in the building, you would have freaked out. So we're just like, you're the worst. Like, you're complaining. And then you're the one making the most noise in the building. Complaining about everybody else. So that's why I don't really feel bad leaving a note, because we're like, lady, you've been, sorry that I keep touching my hair. It's just, I never like the way it looks. But yeah, we're like, lady, you've been the one complaining about everybody, so no. So should I add a little bit more? Should I add this new blush? I don't know. I feel like I'm wearing a lot already. But yeah, I really do like this color. What do you guys think about that blush shade? I like it because it's very neutral, but I do think I like Amore just from what I've been into lately, which is like a little bit more like pinky, brighter, kind of fun colored blushes. But I do think this is really pretty with just like a neutral eye. What do we think about this eyeshadow? I think it's really pretty. It's definitely not something I'm gonna wear like every single day, but I do think it's fun and pretty, and yeah. So I'm probably not gonna put this on. Maybe I'll just add what was on the brush, see if anything shows up, because I wore this yesterday, but I just kind of lightly dabbed it on this brush. Is that too much? It's funny because I tagged my friend, or I mentioned a photo that came up. Oh my god, I can't talk. I mentioned a photo that came up in our memories on Facebook, and she's like, why were we wearing so much blush? And I'm like, I don't know, like it was crazy. It was like so red, just like right on the balls of our cheeks, or the apples of our cheeks. And she was like, what the heck? And I'm like, although I am going through a blush phase again right now, so I kind of understand, but back then it's like we just didn't know how to blend. Everything was just kind of like clown cheeks. But anyways, let me know how you liked this video. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. I think maybe next weekend I might do something different. I might do something like my most expensive face of makeup and what's worth it and what isn't. I don't know. Is that something you'd want to see? Let me know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and as always, love ya. Please subscribe if you liked it. We'll see you soon. I'm back. Just to show you quickly, if we can get this to focus, what the under eye is looking like with that concealer. Maybe I like it now. I think I don't mind it. I'll keep you posted though on my next video how I am liking it and if I decided to bring it back, but I kind of think I like it now. Okay, so I just went to the gym, so my makeup literally looks a hot mess. But under further investigation, don't mind my brows. I don't think I like it. Now that I'm looking at it more clearly, I feel like there's still a lot of darkness underneath the eye, which normally my Charlotte Tilbury would take care of, and there's a lot of gathering, and I notice it in the sun. That's why when I wore it for the first time, I noticed it when I was outside. Inside it doesn't look that bad, but I don't know. I'll keep you updated if I decide to return it. Bye.